Your Battles Rally Point. I'm Sheila Schneider, Executive Director of the Kauffman Fund and a proud military spouse.
Werner, I'm the president of Baldwin Priestmeyer and a Master Sergeant in the Army Reserves. And today, our guest is Laura. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Laura Neuman Howe. I'm Executive Director of the Friends of Fisher House, St. Louis.
Every veteran fights their own battles after service, and this is where we spotlight the organizations that serve as a rally point, the places where our brothers and sisters regroup, find direction, and get the support they need to move forward. So, Laura, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And so tell us about who you are, a little bit about your background, and then what's the Fisher House?
Well, my background is I've been involved with not-for-profit organizations and fundraising for a long time. And I've been executive director of the Friends of Fisher House actually for 5 years. Can we believe it's been that long? And so what is the Fisher House? The Fisher House is a home away from home for veterans families. And what it is designed to do is to enable the families and the loved ones of our veterans to be with them when the veteran is dealing with health care issues, whether they're in the hospital or getting tests or in rehab, whatever the issues may be. If they are far from home, that's a key part. If they're 50 miles away from home, we will give them a home away from home absolutely for free. And so the family can be at the bedside of their veteran when they're in the hospital. And our motto, which really, I love our motto, which is because a family's love is good medicine. Because I think we all know when you're in the hospital or even just going to a doctor's appointment where you're a little nervous or a lot nervous about something, having that person with you, your loved one, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your child, whether it's I've seen all generations serve as that family anchor. And they're there to hold your hand, to be supportive, and to be your ears, and to some degree being your mouth, because that veteran might not want to confess that he's having issues or she's having issues with fill in the blank. But yet this person sitting there, well, don't forget to mention this issue. Yes. And just making that healthcare visit better in so many ways is what we're enabling.
So Fisher House is actually located in Jefferson Barracks.
Correct.
At the VA complex.
Yes, it's on the medical center campus.
Okay.
And we have 20 private suites. It's like a little mini hotel, except we prefer it to be thought of as a home because we have a full kitchen, fully stocked kitchen, and it's huge. Refrigerator space for every family and every room, as well as 2 refrigerators that are a free-for-all. It's in there and you want it, it's yours. And just providing all of that for free. There's a huge laundry room, there's a dining room. We really encourage the families to mingle and to talk to each other and to share the load and the burden and the wisdom. Sometimes it's like, well, if you go in this door at the, you can go down that hallway and you'll find, the connections that they can just strengthen the experience and the support. Yeah.
So Laura, it sounds terrific. But outside of that, the biggest part that you guys focus on is supporting the families while the veteran is going through these medical issues and getting treatment. What aspects, obviously you get the communities, what you're trying to bring into that involvement, but how are you dealing with the children, or is there any aspects that the Fisher House supports or gives entertainment for the kids? Or
we do have kids in the house periodically. We have a playground outside. It's all fenced in and nice and fun. Spruced it up just this past summer, so it's in good shape. It's used occasionally, not, obviously with the ice and snow we've had just recently, that I don't think anybody's going out there. Nobody's going, not even going on the gorgeous patio at this weather. We also have a huge collection of family-friendly movies, books, and a few toys. We have cribs, like the roll-away, the pop-up what do you call them? It's been a while since my kid.
Playpen?
Playpens.
Playpens. Thank you. Yes.
Some of us are a little bit beyond those stage.
So yes, we accommodate families. In fact, some of I really love it. Sometimes there's 3 generations are in the house at the same time. And that veteran can be staying at the house too. It really depends on the situation and what, if they're coming in just for a series of tests, and you'd much rather be at the Fisher House in a home-like setting than in the hospital. So when you're given the option, they want to come to the Fisher House and be there in a bed with their spouse, and the whole bit. Their suite is really unto themselves. It's very private. They have their own bathroom, and it's lovely.
So does the veteran have to be at Jefferson Barracks, or can they be at John Cochrane?
Good question. They have to be being served by the VA healthcare system. Okay. They can be at either location, and they can even sometimes they're at BJC, but they're under the care or they're being paid for by the VA system. Okay. There are some procedures that the VA cannot do for whatever reason, and so the patient will be sent to BJC, and they'll still be qualified to stay at the Fisher House. So that's a key piece as well. Those points being 50 miles away or further where their actual home is, and then being treated by the VA. Their health care coverage is being overseen by the VA in some fashion.
So therefore, the veteran, not the veteran dependents.
Correct. It's not veteran dependents. It's those who are getting VA health care.
Okay. It's good to know.
So with the program that you guys have, I mean, obviously they're being supported and helped in the VA and getting treatment and for some prolonged period. Is there a limitation on how long somebody can stay there if they're on a continual treatment plan for
as long there's two there's 2 key answers to your question is how long can they stay, and really there is no limit to how long they can stay as long as the veteran is being treated, as long as he's getting health care, and as long as the guests in the Fisher House, as long as they are actively attentive to the veteran. In other words, they can't stay back at the Fisher House for days on end and never go check on their veteran. We're not the police, but we also want to make sure they're not in St. Louis just to be a tourist. We're supporting them so they can be with their veteran. So that's a key piece as well. It's only happened once in my knowledge that somebody was really there to eat bonbons and go to be a tourist. And our definition of family, also a key piece I like to make, is family doesn't have to be that the traditional definition. It's whomever is actively attentive, caring for the veteran. That could be a neighbor, that could be a healthcare provider, that could be their in-home healthcare aide. Or I've seen girlfriends, I've seen boyfriends. The definition just has to be actively attentive and caring for that veteran, and obviously the veteran is receptive to that as well. It has to be their friend.
So how would somebody go about getting a reservation at the Fisher House?
Well, the key step is that the ideal way to do it is through their social worker or through their healthcare provider.
The VA social worker?
Yes, through their VA connections, their healthcare provider. They're somewhere there's 8 states that funnel into St. Louis for their care. And so if they're being sent to St. Louis for their healthcare and kind of like, oh, where am I going to stay? How can I get there? I want my wife with me. They want to ask their healthcare provider. If the healthcare provider doesn't know what to do next, if the veteran has a social worker, that's ideal. But when in doubt, I'll cut all the corners there, have them call the Fisher House manager, the staff on site, and that phone number is 314-894-6145. That's a landline. Had somebody asked me last week, they didn't reply to my text to that number. It's like, well, they never will. That's a landline. It's got an old school cell phone, answering machine.
Yeah.
And they do get back to you. So spell out the details if you get the answer machine. The staff will be checking that regularly. And that's really the key way. When in doubt, just call the house directly and ask for the steps. They know how to talk them through it.
So if I'm a veteran, and I've got a procedure coming up in the next couple of months, and I know I'm going to be 200 miles away from my family. Should they, I know they need to go through the social worker to get it scheduled, but what I'm saying is if they know about you right now and they know that in 3 months they're going to be coming up there, do they go to your website and help get coordinated because maybe they don't have a designated VA social worker yet? This is all new, new medical circumstance. They haven't ever dealt with this type of stuff. How do you guys facilitate that connection to help them get there? Or
really the best way is to call. We find that phone call, that we do have a portal through our website where you could put in an inquiry, but the Fisher House staff would just as soon you call because they'll talk you through. They know the procedures and what forms need to be filled out and how the criteria works. I'm actually, again, I'll remind you, I'm with the Friends of Fisher House St. Louis, so I'm supportive from a distance. I'm doing the fundraising, and actually I just got off the phone with the house manager checking in on some supplies and what her next order might be that we're going to fulfill in terms of stocking refrigerators, but calling them at 314-894-6145. That is the key. And how they would just assume, if that veteran hits any questions that their doctor's office has never even heard of the Fisher House, call this number. I also, if I can jump in, I really want to point out, so we're one of 100. There are 100 Fisher Houses around the world. And you say, well, why wouldn't they all be in the United States? Well, actually, there's 3 outside of the United States, 1 in Great Britain and 2 in Germany. But so the remaining 97 of them are in the United States. We've got them all over the country, and they're serving both veterans and active duty military, depending on where they're located. So any veteran listening to this podcast, they might not all be in the 8 states that serve, that feed into St. Louis for some different levels of medical care. But there's one in Kansas City, there's one in Chicago, one being the Fisher Houses. There's a whole pocket of them in Texas. There's a bunch in Southern California, etc. So going to the Fisher House Foundation, the national website, fisherhouse.org, make sure you don't put a C in there. It's FISHER, house. That's really where you'll find all the connections and all the links to who to call for each and every house. So that's the best resource for your listeners.
I would really like to understand the Friends of Fisher House and how you and your organization support with the fundraising and what type of fundraising you do to help the Fisher House.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Well, the Friends of Fisher House St. Louis is a 501c3 IRS designated not-for-profit. And as such, we actually were involved, the organization, I wasn't on board at the time, but back in 2007, which is when our St. Louis entity was organized, it was created to help fund the building of the Fisher House. Because what's really a kind of a cool arrangement within the Fisher House system is that Fisher Houses are built using private sector money. They're 100% private funds. It's not a government run, they're not built by the government. But what's interesting they are built on government property, and then they're given to the government to run, staff, and maintain in perpetuity. And then we, Friends of Fisher Houses across the country, step back after the house is built and paid for. Then we step back into kind of a supportive role, taking care of that grocery order that I just mentioned, or perhaps so every now and then some furniture needs to be replaced, or some certain things have to happen, and they might have to happen quickly. And whereas a VA contracting process would take 3 months, when there's a bank of washing machines, and you have 3 or 4 washing machines, and 2 of them go out in the same week. This is a real story. They call the Friends of Fisher House to say, and we'll get it, call up Lowe's or Home Depot, and that washing machine was replaced within 2 days, whereas the house cannot function for the 3 months that it probably would have taken for the VA's contracting process and putting it out for bid and the paperwork alone. So we can make things happen quickly. And the exciting piece that we're on the brink of really being official about. I joke that we're in the Air Force hangar working on the engine, but we do not have approval to pull the plane out of the hangar and put it on the runway just yet. But that plane is fundraising for a second Fisher House here in St. Louis. The John Cochran VA Hospital on North Grand in Midtown St. Louis is on the drawing board to have a massive rebuild. They're going to have a beautiful new hospital, and it's on the brink of groundbreaking ceremonies I expect to be this year. With that, we, the Friends of Fisher House, are on the coattails of that to say we will officially be fundraising for that second Fisher House. And with that, we have to be part of the conversation to raise $13.5 million. And good news is the Fisher House Foundation at the national level comes up with about half of that. Our board of directors has been very good at shepherding funds, and so we're already halfway there. And I think once we're able to officially say, hey, who wants to have a star for $100,000, your business can have the star on this bronze plaque at the entrance. I think a lot of people are going to step up in so many ways, and quite honestly, it'll be lots of $1,000 conversations, and even every $25 conversation makes a big difference. So again, the board of directors has been shepherding this for quite a while, and we are this close to it being official.
Speaking of fundraising, so you all do something rather unique. So everybody has a golf tournament. Okay. I know we do, You do. But you do something rather unique with your golf tournament that anybody can participate in.
True,
right?
True.
Explain this golf ball thing.
Well, it's a fancy 50-50 is what it is. It's a 50-50 that involves a helicopter. How fun is that, right? So it's called a helicopter ball drop. And anybody, as Sheila says, can buy a ball drop ticket. And what that gets you for $10, you get your number on the ball. You get a number assigned to your ticket. And the helicopter has a huge, call it a bushel basket, a huge basket full of balls that it takes up into the air over the golf course, and it dumps the balls onto the hole. And the ball that rolls into the hole, whatever number gets into or closest to the hole, is the winner of the pot. And we have an anonymous person who's guaranteed the pot, such that the winner will guaranteed $3,000.
Nice.
It's actually gone over that the last 2 years, so I think it's $3,000 is guaranteed for that $10 you could win, and it's fun. And yes, anyone can come out. You can even come out and watch it. It's on this year will be June 11th.
Okay,
and that's the 2026 tournament. It's usually the second week of June on a Thursday, and Forest Park, heart of St. Louis. And it's fun. It is fun. It's energy.
I just want you to imagine this helicopter going up with this basket and just dropping just all these golf balls. It's just,
I'm sure it's really cool. It's probably chaos incarnate when the ball is coming down.
Yes.
But,
yeah.
With that being said, you got that fundraiser in June 11th. Mm-hmm. Now, if somebody wants to help support the Friends of Fisher House to help build the new Fisher House at the hospital, how do they coordinate with you or donate to your organization, or volunteer to support you guys and help with some of these things?
A great portal is our website. So that's simply fisherhouseinstl.org. And It's got all kinds of information. We actually just renovated it. Literally, it went live about 2 weeks ago. And it's got tons of information and tons of options on how one can talk about giving in different ways and different ideas, whether it's planning a fundraiser that you've got someone wants to do a birthday party and benefit the Fisher House. Somebody wants to join there's a group that does a bowling tournament every October for us. And tuning into that. Those kind of events are also posted on our website as they come around with all those details. Or there's just a simple donation portal there at fisherhouseinstl.org.
I know that Friends of Fisher House, and you've already accumulated, you said half of the money you need for the new Fisher House to be built, which is amazing because you had to do 675 million. You got somewhere around 3 to 4 million right now.
Yep.
Now, between the Fisher House and the Friends of Fisher House, can you give me a couple of examples of a success story of how your organization, through either fundraising and supporting the Fisher House, be it like you just did on the laundry machines, but how you guys have supported veterans or really made a difference to these families?
Sure.
And what actions were taken, and how was it impactful?
Okay, well, definitely. There's a number of ways I can answer that question. I'm going to go a couple routes. One is just some straightforward numbers. Approximately 12,000 people stay at the Fisher House in a typical year. So that breaks down family-wise. It's off the top of my head, I think it's about 700 something families, and so there's a revolving door at the house with those 20 suites and a variety, varying levels of occupancy. When the house is full, which happens, it's also very important to note we will never say no to someone. We will never say, gosh, we're sorry, we're full. What happens in those instances is that we, the Friends of Fisher House, pick up a tab for covering their hotel stay, which is not as optimal in our opinion as being at the actual Fisher House, because we love the community of the Fisher House. But boy, if you're coming in from far away, wherever, having that hotel room makes a difference. And in fact, when we had the snowstorm 3 weeks ago, there was one family whose father was on hospice, and they were really worried that they wanted to be as close to the hospital, to John Cochrane, as they could. And the Fisher House, quite honestly, is like it's a ways. It's a 17 miles, but in the snow that was unsurmountable. And so anyway, we put them up at a hotel. So those kinds of examples are where we step in and really care for the individuals. The other stories I really enjoy when I stop by the Fisher House and do discover there's 3 generations there, that a granddaughter and a grandfather are staying at the Fisher House, and it's actually the veteran is in the middle. He's the sandwich by the generations, that the whole family is rallying around him. In other cases, we had a gentleman came into St. Louis expecting he was coming in to BJC for a heart checkup. And the heart doctor said, you're going to the hospital right this minute. And they weren't prepared for that. It was like, wait, what? And he ended up getting an LVAD, which is a whole machine that runs your heart for you. And the wife, because it was in the BJC system, she was with him for a month before a nurse went, isn't he a veteran? Well, because she was stressing out about staying at a hotel all that month. And a nurse just happened to pick up on the veteran connection, and that's when everything changed for her, because she got in connection with the Fisher House. She stayed with us. She ended up staying with us for about 7 months. Ooh, and another touching part to that particular family was that, so they had a grandbaby. The first grandbaby was born while he was in the hospital. So a couple months in there, the grandbaby came up to visit and meet Grandpa. That was fun. His brother came in from another state to hang out with the brother, and the wife, the spouse, had to go home every once in a while to just check the mail, make sure that the things are holding down the fort at home. And so at different times, different family members just sort of cycled in and out of that room. Any family at any given time is given one room. They're very large rooms. I had to explain to a woman just this week that she was like, I don't want to just stay in the same room with whoever she was coming up with. It's just like, it's a big room. We have 2 beds. It's okay. It's a really big room and a private bathroom, and it's lovely space. So the point being, this family was able to be with the man who was in the hospital a very long time.
And I know we at the Kauffman Fund, we've received phone calls from family members, my spouse is at John Cochrane. Can you help with hotel rooms? And I'm like, oh, hold on. I got a connection here.
Good.
Let's get you connected, because now I know you were having some issues with drivers, but there's a shuttle, right?
Yeah, actually, thank you for mentioning that. We provide, well, the VA provides a shuttle that runs Monday to Friday in the kind of business hours, so somewhere like 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And we encourage our guests, if they don't want to drive to John Cochran from Jefferson Barracks, we encourage them to ride the VA shuttle. But clearly, they're going to want to stay at the bedside until the nurses kick them out,
Right.
which is, whatever visiting hours are over on that particular floor. And so with that, we, as the not-for-profit, the Friends of Fisher House, again, we have a pretty serious chunk of our budget pays for a car service. So we'll make arrangements for them to be shuttled in a private car service from John Cochran and then back to the Fisher House. Or sometimes even, in the case of this family I just mentioned, the gentleman with the heart issues was in a BJC system hospital, and so we provided the car service occasionally, but they drove themselves in some instances. But there's been cases where the spouse does not drive.
Yes.
They come in from rural someplace, and
they're not going downtown.
She doesn't drive when they're at home.
Yeah, right.
Not only are we providing a service, but we're providing safety for the whole community, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.
That somebody who's scared of driving on several highways, and it is a labyrinth of highways, that someone who's unfamiliar with St. Louis and a wee bit scared of traffic, or a lot scared of traffic, we take care of that. The Friends of Fisher House will cover that cost as needed. Obviously, we need to balance it. We're not going to let them go back and forth 3 times a day. We can't support that, but we do support the reasonable transportation issues.
Yeah,
definitely.
So what are some ways that, if anybody's watching this podcast or listening to it, different ways that they can support the Fisher House, the Friends of Fisher House, other than monetary?
Okay. Some fun things that volunteers can do at the house are, we have groups that come in and fix a dinner. We have a church organization comes in the first Monday of every month and does, I'd call it Meatloaf Monday just because I like the alliteration, but I don't know what they prepare. I think it varies. And we have a gal who comes in and fixes a special breakfast once a week.
Nice.
Different groups come in. Mo comes in and bakes cookies once a month.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I've yet to time it that I'm there when fresh cookies are coming out of the oven. I'm just. Other things the staff occasionally has their wish list of help cleaning out we have a basement storage area, getting it reorganized or tidied up, or hosing off the back patio, that sort of thing.
Didn't you have a group that came in and did some Christmas things?
Oh yeah, there's a company that historically at least has always put up the lights. United Rentals has put lights all around the house for the holidays, which is really fun. And different groups do come in at different holidays. Actually, not just Christmas, but putting up
decorations.
Yeah, Valentine's is up at the moment.
Yeah, so I just remember somebody talking about Christmas decorations.
Yes, they do thematically Christmas. All the holidays are covered.
Yeah,
it's fun. They have fun with it.
One, again, thank you very much for representing the Friends of Fisher House and a terrific organization. Is there anything that you want to make sure that the people watching take away from this? To be honest, I've learned a lot more about the Fisher House and the Friends of Fisher House because I knew about the Fisher House in regards to veterans and their families and supporting them in that regard, but I didn't know how much weight the Friends of Fisher House carry in financial supporting the Fisher House and or building the new building. So that's amazing to me.
Cool.
Also,
well, cool. Thank you. I would answer, I think just getting the word out. It kind of breaks my heart when we hear of a veteran and their family members who've been in town for 3 weeks and are stressing out about money, and then they find out about the Fisher House. We would much rather they know it and from the get-go. And so any veteran listener, or anyone listening to this podcast, if you know a veteran who's dealing with healthcare issues and going far away to the VA system, getting sent to one of the bigger hubs for major medical care or tests, what have you, make sure they look and consider the Fisher House. And in fact, some people look at the map and pick where they're going to be sent. Like the VA will give them the options of, well, you could go here or there, and you can look at the map and say, well, I want to go there because they have a Fisher House. I've heard people do that. But awareness is the key. So tell a friend, tell somebody. This podcast giving us the, telling more people that the Fisher House is out there, and look it up on the website, check the map, and use the service. It's there to help the families support their veterans, and that's so important.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. Getting the word out is the hardest thing.
Yes.
Even though we feel like as nonprofits we're out there all the time, I know I still get comments of, oh, I never heard of you guys. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, we've only been around since 1990. No biggie here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been great. And, Laura, thank you you and I have actually had a relationship for a little bit, executive director to executive director. And, again, the more we get that information out there, the more that we're supporting each other, and just helping those veterans, because it's all about, getting the information out there. So
tell a friend. Share the information.
Well, that is our goal of this podcast, is to help educate people and get the word out. And the whole part of your battles rally point is to have your friends refer you to these organizations and get the help you need.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your time immensely, and thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for getting the word out. We appreciate it.
So that's a wrap for another episode of Your Battles Rally Point. To our listeners, if you're fighting your own battle or know a veteran who could benefit from the Fisher House, you can find all the contact information and resources we discussed in our show notes. And remember, every veteran's battle is different, but no one fights alone. Until next time, this is Your Battles Rally Point with Sheila Schneider and
Werner. Thank you very much.
Stay strong, stay connected, and remember, there's always a rally point.